Bozo. They are making a separate glitchless category? Holy shit. Well, so we're talking about no major glitches. That's like the name of the category, but it sounds like that's what they needed. Was just to have a glitchless category. Unless it just gets worse, I don't know. It's just NMG currently, but even more stuff is banned. But for category extensions? Yeah, I guess that works. Does that... I was gonna say, is it because NMG doesn't go far enough, or they're gonna, like, make NMG glitchless and then allow more stuff? I'm guessing maybe not that, actually. What stuff is left? Like, what stuff do they do that... I don't know. Would want to see some Dead Space 2 practice. Yeah, I mean, Dead Space 2 is great. We're definitely gonna play it some more. I think we're mostly gonna do that on, like, we're definitely mostly gonna play Dead Space 2 on Friday, and then obviously a little bit before hotfix. There's a good chance I'll do at least one run tomorrow, though. I think also.
And who are you, then?
No running.
I see. Merciful God, you have sent me an apostle. Guard your life, son. You have a calling.
Man. Dude, so I'm doing all schematics on Saturday, right? That'll definitely be interesting, because it has quarantine skip at the beginning, which is one of the hardest tricks in the game. And I don't really think there's a way to back it up if you miss it. I think you just gotta lose. You lose like a minute, you just gotta do the fight. Which isn't really that big of a deal, I guess. What am I doing? This is going the wrong way. Chris. That might work actually, yeah, with Steve still there. You might have to watch the Cutter cutscene again, but I'll try that before Saturday. That might work. Unless I wonder if you save at the save station like right before the skip, would you be able to go back and like open the door where Steve is and then keep going? That actually might be faster if that worked. Or that too. That's kind of the same thing, I guess. Yeah. Getting a checkpoint right there. 8% no Steve push. What am I doing? Gotta look at the game when I play. Unfortunately, you cannot beat the game without kinesis. It is Chapter 1 would be a lot faster if we, you know, didn't have to pick it up, but you kind of need it. Yeah, there are actually so many problems with that. Yeah, it's insane. I mean, the biggest thing at like right off the bat is you can't leave chapter 1 without kinesis. And then yeah, there's other parts where you can't progress or like skips that just don't work. Like you can't do the floor clip in chapter 4.
I'm sorry, my son.
So it goes like 5 minutes, you know. It's like, or like
You can't leave.
can't do drill skip. There's like I don't even know how much.
For
Like,
you to witness.
and there's more. It's just like yeah, it'd be so bad.
You see it,
Couldn't beat chapter 9.
can you? Our Lord, the Wall Rider, tearing his truth into the unbelievers.
Yeah.
The only way out of
Be
this
sick.
place is the truth. Accept the gospel, and all doors will open before you.
Like it turns out stasis actually doesn't really isn't really required. It's actually not as big of a deal, but yeah, you need kinesis. You really need it. How do you slow down then? Well, there are some stasis canisters in the game, but it turns out you really actually don't need to slow stuff down. Like, it helps with combat, but there's not really any parts of the game where you have to... Well, I think in Glitchless there might be, but... You can, skip some of that stuff. Like, I'm thinking, like, Chapter 8, for example, I actually don't know if you can get past some of those hazards without stasis. But you can just skip that, so yeah. Exactly, yeah, we skip all the parts where you need stasis, so it doesn't matter, but we can't skip all the parts you need kinesis. I mean, you could technically skip the one in Chapter 9, that kinesis requirement, by doing a punch hover for like 40 minutes, but... That's like 2/3 of the runs. Yeah. Like, you could do that. I think it's like 30 to 40 minutes, I don't remember, but yeah, you could do that. Nice. Yeah, you also only need stasis in a few areas. Like, Chapter 8 is one, I think. The crypt in Chapter 5, you need stasis. In Glitchless. And, in 14... Wait, we're in 14. Oh, if you're talking about the 0G area, you actually can do that without stasis. Although it does help. Unless I might be forgetting something. Yo, thanks, Ty. Yeah, that one's a little weird. It's not the hardest dodge, but it's definitely not an easy one. Like there are some that are actually just seem like impossible to me. I don't understand how they work. Oh, okay. Yeah, you actually can do that. Like if you go as soon as possible, you can actually just fly forward the whole time. Oh, and 4, you're right. Yeah, Chapter 4. If we're talking glitchless, you do. Yeah, I think that's it then. Well, yeah, oh yeah, Chapter 1, stasis tutorial, I suppose. Yeah, that counts. But yeah, those are all areas of the game that we skip now, so yeah, you don't need it. Grow up. True. The problem for speedruns, though, when stasis got skipped was that we actually used stasis for a few skips. Really brute clips was the main thing. So the whole thing was, okay, how do we do these brute clips without stasis now? And one was, well, finding a big skip in chapter 10 so you don't even have to do the brute clip, so that was nice. And the other one was, well, Monkey Punch, and we all know how that goes, so. Yeah, no, that's literally what happened. I was sitting on a call with some mystery here in Discord, and I was like, I want to find a Dead Space 2 skip. And he goes, find quarantine skip. And I was like, alright, bet. And then I actually did. And, yeah. Well, I found the original version of Stasis Skip, not the one we do now. The one we do now is way better. And faster. Yeah, you need Kinesis in so many parts of the game to progress. Like, but it's like you need it more in Glitchless and also in the run. It's just like kind of a required item. Unless you like, I mean, unless you wrong warp to the end of the game or to the credits or something, you know, like you need it. It's actually, I think you need Kinesis more than you need a gun. I'm pretty sure, because you actually only need to shoot a gun like 3 or 4 times in the entire game if you're skipping stuff. If we're just talking about like what's possible by any means necessary, you only have to shoot like, what is it? It's chapter 2, like twice in chapter 5, and then the final boss. So 3. There's 3 situations in the game you have to shoot. So yeah. I mean, just the amount of times you have to interact with batteries in the game already makes Kinesis more useful. You actually can do Stasis Skip without picking up the Plasma Cutter, and you can beat the boss with Kinesis. And it's technically a little bit faster. I just don't do it because it's really hard. Killing the boss fast, I mean. And actually, yeah, you have to reload the room too. But I think it still saves enough time to be worth it. But yeah. It would be cool to do some kind of I've never like routed it, but we could try it at some point. Like it'd be a little arbitrary, but we could try a low percent, which I guess would essentially be merchantless, but you also can only shoot in those 3 spots of the game you need the gun. I don't know, that could maybe be cool. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if it would make an actual good category, but we could try it. I mean, there would be some cool skips in low percent to skip some of the shooting. It would just be you can't pick up ammo. We could do that too, I guess. I mean, it could be whatever rules we want, I suppose. Would it be like just no picking up like any items? Like, can you use the store? Or are you thinking like you get the plasma cutter and then you just can't pick up like anything else? Although you might have to pick up ammo to beat the final boss though. I don't know if you've seen it, Fire. Yeah, we don't have a category for it, but I've actually ran merchantless Dead Space 2 before. I did like 1 or 2 runs, I think. I did it with glitches, obviously, because like it's either like you have to do stasis skip to do merchantless, so it's like either do stasis skip and play the rest of the game glitchless, which I felt would be kind of dumb, or just do it like, you know, merchantless any percent. So I have done it. You have to do a really cringe version of Chapter 8 skip, but it's like, you know, it's okay. Or I guess the other option would be just use the first store in Chapter 1 and just say it doesn't count, and then just use Plasma Cutter. But that's still not, like, really technically merchantless. So. Ah, shit. Alright, we choked the last set of water hops, but whatever. You'll do it when you learn Dead Space 2? Nice. Are you gonna try to do all the fastest strats? Cause like, yeah, that, like I said, that the Chapter 8 skip is really cringe. It's like kind of toxic. Not gonna lie. The rest of the run was okay though. From what I remember, it was mostly just that trick was really stupid. All right, nice. Oh, wait, you're right, actually, yeah. Because you just have infinite ammo anyway, so yeah, you could just not pick up ammo. Not use the store, but I guess you're right, it wouldn't really matter that much. Would it really matter if you picked up items then, like ammo? Like, if you're not using the store, you can't do anything with the ammo anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter if you pick it up, but I could still see the argument for it, I guess. Although it might be kind of hard to enforce, like, not picking up anything, because, like, an item could spawn next to, like, a door or something. I don't know. Wouldn't be getting health either. If we want to do it that way, we could try it, yeah. Dude, what? That was weird. Sounds cringe any way you slice it. I mean, I just figured, like, merchantless, but you... What? Man. I don't know, I just thought it'd be cool to have some run with at least that, like, one punch lever you found in Chapter 5. Like, that route to skip the tripod room. Figured it'd be cool. Alright, I don't think we're gonna be ahead anymore here, but being even's not too bad either, I guess. I mean, it's kind of hard to quantify because, like, there's not really, like, a percentage of completion, you know? I was kind of looking at it as, like, picking up the least amount of, items and stuff like that as possible. So ideally, you just wouldn't get a gun at all, and you beat the game with the flashlight, and it would be like, okay, you get kinesis and the flashlight, but no stasis, no guns. But the only thing is, like, you can't actually do that. You have to get a gun, so then it's like...
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Buddy, the old two mark.
I don't know.
Have a little confab, blah, blah. Heavier than you look. A little cardio wouldn't kill you. Okay, here we go, arms and legs inside the car at all times. You know, I love the mountain air up here at night. You want to head out and take a stroll? Go ahead, I'll wait here. Go on, run free. I'm in no hurry. No?
Bruh. Hey, what's up, Retro?
Like that. Okay then, right.
Exactly. That's like the main problem with it is just like since the game doesn't have a percentage of completion, it's kind of arbitrary. The bodacious ass. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, if we're trying to add more category extensions, merchantless could be an option, maybe, if people want to run it. The route is a little, I mean, the route is a little cringe, though. It's like...
I was just tired of licking my own stairs.
Well, actually, it's really just chapter 8 that's bad. I think the rest of it's okay.
Here we are, then.
Running through Village for the 3rd time in 4 days. Oh, nice! Were you playing, like, the DLC stuff, or was it, like, your, like, first playthrough, or, what were you doing?
Wash up and, oh, movies. And it'll give us a chance to talk.
What, are you actually banning in a Dead Space 2 low percent run? I mean, I guess basically just shooting in areas that aren't the 3 areas you need them, but that's also, like, super arbitrary, because it's, like, not even, like, least shots fired. I don't know, I wanted low, like, if we ever had low percent, I imagine it more as, like, not picking up any guns at all, just using kinesis and melee and stuff to beat the game, and, like only getting kinesis in the flashlight, basically.
No offense to the man, but
you know, no getting other weapons, upgrading them, stuff like that. But the problem is you can't actually do that, so I was like, oh, what if it was like that, but, you know, you had to shoot only when it was required, I guess, but I don't know.
God died with the gold standard. We're on to a more concrete faith now. You have to.
You get unlimited ammo from skipping the first store.
No
yeah, it's that, and then
it's the simplest form. But what happens?
Like, you still skip a lot of stuff. A lot of, like, the combat and stuff anyway. Like, you can't do glitchless no merchant also, so that's also a little silly. It's so you got, because it's like, what, you got to do, like, you still do plant boost. Chapter 3 is the same. Chapter 4 and 5 is the same. You don't do tormentor skip, I guess. You can't do leaper rally skip. We can do the punch hover still. Still do transport hub skip. Chapter 7 is exactly the same. Chapter 8, you do the old extended 8 skip, which is really cringe. And then Chapter 10, you just do the no deloads route, which is cool. Chapter 11 is pretty much the same, except killing the enemies for punch up the shaft would also be cringe. And then you would do super drill, because there's no setup for giga drill with a cutter. Although you could probably make one, but am I going to do that for merchantless? Hell no, fuck that. Yeah, and then the end of the game is the same. So it's like any percent, but weird. I don't know. Oh my god, what am I doing? It's like so much time, man. I actually could still save time here. Apparently I have like 2.5 seconds to save. Not since then, third person's so much more fun playing the base game. Nice.
Just like him.
Yeah, that's sick. I played it like, actually, yeah, I think I only beat it once. I played it casually on stream. It was a good time.
He worked so well. They can control it. And you can't control it. Nobody.
That is true.
Nobody. If I do, he'll kill you. He's coming now.
Hell yeah, he says. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's okay. Chapter 8, again, is really just the worst part. Like, I just, like, that skip is just so bad. It's like quarantine skip. It's kind of nice that it's just, like, mostly dead. Although quarantine skip... See, I hate that, like, quarantine skip is in all schematics, because I really like all schematics, but that part of it is kind of annoying. But I'd almost rather do that than extended 8, I think. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, don't get me wrong. I love speedrunning Dead Space 2, obviously, but yeah, there are some skips in that game that are kind of trash. Fortunately, most of the ones that are really, really bad are either obsolete or only present in kind of like very obscure runs. Nice. We should still save a little bit of time here, I think. Can't believe I messed up running to the door after the cutscene, though. That was dumb.
I'm not giving up on you.
The most room for different kinds of runs is Dead Space 3. Yeah. I mean, you got New Game Plus that are like actually good, like actually different. Max percent, Undo, co-op. I mean, Dead Space 2 has some good side categories, but it sort of suffers from a lot of them being kind of similar. Like, you know, New Game Plus and Zealot obviously are like kind of silly. I do think hardcore is good, though. I will say hardcore is fun, though admittedly not as different as it used to be. Like, hardcore used to be a very different run from any percent. Now it's like, yeah, I mean, it's different, but not as much. Dying the car skip because the soldiers shoot you because you miss it. Oh, it's not really a matter of getting good. We're just saying, like, I think there definitely is an argument that 3 has the most varied categories. I mean, it's again same thing with Dead Space 1. Like, New Game Plus is like basically the same exact thing. For example. Like, I mean, I like the other categories in Dead Space 2, you know, like no deloads and stuff, but a lot of them, like, have parts that are really similar, I guess. Oh, you're saying get good with the car skip thing. Okay, I see. Sorry. Okay. I am down to still add more category extensions for Dead Space 2, though. If people want to play them, it'd be cool to have more runs. Yeah, you got Awaken. Awaken being on PC helps a lot for Dead Space 3 also. Like, if Severed was on PC, that would be kind of nice. Maybe someday. Oh, mega low. Dead Space Challenge run, you can only kill the acquired. Oh, I see, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that could be pretty cool. That was sort of my idea for trying to do some kind of low percent run for Dead Space 2, you know, like only shoot where you're required to, kind of thing. Ah, that's kind of bad. Yeah, you could definitely do something like that. There are a lot of areas where you don't have to actually kill stuff. Yeah. Yo, thanks for the follow. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Thanks for the good luck. Appreciate it. Nice. It's like I boosted up on something there. Yo, what's up? Crimson? The Wall Rider is a collection of nano machines being controlled by a host in the underground lab. Dude, crouch, please. Please. That's okay. Alright, I don't know if we're ahead anymore, but it's fine. Oh, we're still ahead by a little bit. Okay. I'll take it. Ah, damn. I got the second one. Nice. Yo, what's up, nerd? Got a fat PB one of your games for Hig? Yo, nice. GG's. Which game was it?
Only one way out. Only one way. How do you know you're not a patient?
Splinter Cell on the DS? Yo, nice, dude. Bunch of Monka-S skips. Well, it sounds like you're, getting some good practice in. And those runs are chill? That's good, yeah. Yeah, I'm doing Dead Space 2, and the category I'm doing has a skip at the beginning that's really, really hard. I just need to work out if there's any way to, like, back it up if I miss it. It's the way you would normally do. Dude, what? There's no way that happened again. That's crazy. Come on, man. I actually, like, unironically need to practice just running through that gap there now, because that's happened twice. Okay. Anyway, I need to double check, because the way we do it normally in runs, I mean, you lose like a minute, which is fine, but you'd have to just like do it normally if you mess it up. I think there might be a way to try it again. Yeah, losing like 2.5 seconds there again, man. Come on. So bad. Alright, well, we know we need to practice that now, I guess. Alright, so similar situation as last time. This could still PB, but it'll be pretty close. What? Man. You go to sleep? Alright, sounds good, dude.
Yes.
Hope you have a good night as well.
The tumors were purely killed them. Can you explain why the results
Could not be reproduced in the United States.
I have my theories. My homeland in those years.
Dinner was so good you can barely move. Oh damn. That does sound pretty good. None of them took out rig videos or did any little skips.
My Joe.
Yeah. I I get why some people don't do that when they submit to Glitchless, but I always find it funny.
Prophets was always freedom.
Regardless,
And here it
you know.
you were watching my death, my
Because, like, it's not like it's that hard to do it. Usually it's because people just, like... It's almost like people have this, like... It's like a moral thing. It's like, ah, like...
I fixed the elevator.
I'm against it, so I'm not gonna do it. And it's like, okay.
We will all of us be
Chapter... Don't even get me started on the Chapter 2 IL, man.
now, my son.
Or maybe some people just don't know about it. I don't know. I feel like some people do it because they're just like, I know it's not allowed... Or it is allowed, but I don't like it, so I'm not gonna do it. And it's like, I mean, you can do it if you want. I mean, it loses time. It's like a it's kind of like a pride thing, I guess. It's like, oh, I can get this time without using them, but it's also like, I don't know. I don't really see that much point in it, you know. Like it's like a weird. It's almost like a way of like protesting the rules, almost. I guess like not even like protesting, but it's just like I don't agree with the rules, so I'm just not gonna do it that way. And it's like, I mean, you're allowed to do that if you want. I know, dude. Yeah. Again, it's like why I always say like it's always very hard to make good glitchless rules that everybody agrees on because it's so arbitrary, you know? It's like if you, something like this game, it's like these glitchless rules are almost like a little too restrictive, but then you know you have something like Dead Space, it's like, well, some people might think the glitchless rules are a little bit too lenient, but you can't please everybody. Well, all I'll say about that, Gary, is it really depends on the run. I mean, take something like this, right? Like, this doesn't really, like, skip any parts of the game. And it is very difficult to get the world record because it's so optimized. But that's not to say that, like, playing this is easier than the 100% run of this game. 100% is extremely difficult. I think sometimes people think that using glitches makes some games easier. Sometimes it does. Most of the time it doesn't. Especially if you're trying to go as fast as possible, at least. A lot of times, playing the game with skips and glitches is way harder than it is. Like, take Dead Space 2, any Dead Space game, actually. Glitchless is extremely easy in comparison to, you know, like, what's it called? I lost my train of thought. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, like, for example, trying to beat the any percent record in Dead Space 2 is a lot harder than, say, like, I've tried to beat Dead Space 2 hardcore without getting hit. I think that's actually easier than beating the any percent record, like, using skips and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I've done both. I think beating the game damageless is easier. Yeah, that's the thing, Gray. It's like people who are like, I could get a better time and I didn't use this glitch, and it's like, okay, why? Like, we have a leaderboard that has like rules and stuff. If you want to participate in that, that's cool. But like, it's kind of weird to be like, ah, well, I'm gonna decide to not do this, and I got this time, so therefore my run is better because I didn't do this, and it's like, that's so arbitrary though. You know what? In Dead Space, yeah, glitchless is kind of a joke in Dead Space. Not that, like, I mean, you can, like, try, like, for example, I think my NG plus glitchless time in Dead Space 2 is pretty solid. It would be very hard to beat, I think. It's not perfect, but it's, like, pretty solid. But just playing glitchless is easy. Like, getting a decent time in glitchless is not that hard. You know. It depends on the game, though. Like, this game's a lot more optimized with glitchless, so getting a really good time is still really hard because you got to optimize all the movement and stuff. But like finishing, like getting a decent time or just like beating the game, like it's not, it's not very hard. Dude, dude, that was so funny when IGN posted their article, and the comments under that was like the funniest thing I ever seen. It was awesome. Yeah. I tend to give some people the benefit of the doubt because I think some people are like newer to speedrunning or just like haven't done it as much, and so they'll like sometimes there's sort of like misconceptions, but there are some people who I feel like more willingly misinterpret it. Like the people that are just like You used glitches. You didn't actually beat the game. Like that. Those are always those comments are always funny.
Turn off his life support. His son
Doesn't exist in XM64. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in some games like it's not really necessary. Yeah, but I will say to add to this conversation, I do also like challenge runs a lot. I'm not saying there needs to be some kind of competition between the two. Like they're both cool. I think they both can be very skillful. I think some people will look at one or the other and say like, oh, this one is easy and this one's not. Like, here's like an example of a challenge run, right? Like beating a Dark Souls game without getting hit is very difficult, but also speedrunning a Souls game is also very difficult. They're just both different, you know? They're both like a different challenge. One's not necessarily better than the other. Alien isolation glitches, yeah. Yeah, no-hit runs are sick. And like I said with the thing about Dead Space 2 no-hit, like that's also still really hard. But like for a different reason, you know what I mean? And with Dead Space 2, it really is just because of like a few rooms. Like if that Chapter 7 elevator wasn't a thing, it honestly would be pretty easy. I got pretty close last time. I get hit twice. I do wanna finish that at some point. Yeah, AI is a cool game. I've ran it before. It's pretty fun. Yeah. It's just, yeah, I don't like it. It's like funny when people, aren't just trolling the more serious. They're just like, oh, I don't think speedrunning takes any skill. It's like, it doesn't matter whether there's glitches or not. The run can be hard. Like, the whole thing is you're just trying to get the best time possible. Like, it actually doesn't matter if the run is difficult or not. That's the other thing. Like, the whole point is just to get the fastest time. It's like, the same thing as like, I want to get the highest score in an arcade game. Like, it doesn't matter how difficult it is. The point is to get the highest score in whatever it is, you know? Like, I mean, yes, it is still like to a certain degree an expression of skill, but like some speedruns are harder than others. Some are easy and some are like really, really hard. Some are literally just get good luck and you win, like Clue, right? You know? But like that's my whole thing like with that, I guess. But yeah, the Elden Ring comments were also so funny. My other favorite was the Ocarina of Time shit. Where you wrong warped to the end of the game. The one person who was like, you didn't beat the game. Ganon is still out there. It's so funny, man. Okay. Yeah, dude, no hit runs are dope. Yo, is this gonna PB? Let's find out. No hit unupgraded would be cool. I feel like you probably could. The final boss would be really hard though. I think most of the game is pretty doable. But yeah, especially if you're on like Zealot or Hardcore, I think the final boss would be very difficult. It'd be very tedious. Take a long time. All right, let's see. It's gonna be close. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Try to get through the soldiers in Dead Space 3 without getting hit. I don't even know if that's or Chapter 1, man. Dead Space 3 is by far the hardest Dead Space game to no-hit. Like, I believe it's not even close. 1 and 2 are probably not that bad. But 3 is borderline. I don't even know if it's possible. I'd have to, like, see somebody route it out and try it. Gets grabbed out of the cutscene of prologue. Yep. Yeah, games with projectiles are more complicated. Like, I think Dead Space 2 is harder than 1. Just because you have pukers, you have more projectile enemies. The 0.0 PB. Dude, I PB'd by 90 milliseconds earlier also. It might happen again. Or we might clutch the 15... Or the... Start with the 15. The 5109? Maybe? Yeah, the machine gun soldiers would be pretty stupid. Like chapter 1, you know, chapter 10, the descent. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, come on. Let's go, finally, there we go. Okay. Hell yeah, GG's.